Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Let's solve this question together. Now look at what we are given. We are given that the integral of f inverse of s multiplied by e to s dx. We are going to integrate this function with respect to x. Now we heard about inverse function. What comes to your mind? Now please take note. An inverse function is a function that reverses the work. I'm using work. Why am I using work? Oh, shit. That reverses the operation of another function. Okay, inverse function is a function that reverses the operation of another function. Now, and take note that the derivative of s you are hearing about, what is the inverse? Is the what? Is the inverse? Is the inverse of what? The inverse of the function of the inverse of the operation. Sorry, the inverse of the function. The function of what? F of x equals to s multiplied by e to x. Please take note, this is very important. The derivative of s you are hearing about is the inverse of the function f of s equals to what? This. It means that by definition of Lambert W function, it means that f of x, okay, is equals to this, e multiplied by s multiplied by e to x. And don't forget that f of s is still y equals to what? S multiplied by e to x. And don't forget that if you're looking for the inverse function of this, you have to swap from here. So let's swap. That means s is equals to y multiplied by e to y. But how are we going to look for y? Because from y we can have the inverse function. We have to take the Lambert derivative function of both sides. So this will be Lambert derivative function of x equals to the Lambert derivative function or into y multiplied by e to what? Y. That means the Lambert derivative function of this, that means the Lambert derivative function of x, okay, will be equals to. Now what is the Lambert derivative function of this? This will just give us what? Y. Okay, y, and this implies that y is equals to the w function of what? X. Okay, that means the inverse function of s is equals to what? The w of what? X. Wow, this is amazing. You see what I've seen? You see what I was saying? I said the w of s is the inverse function of the function f of s equals to s multiplied e to x. You can say that the inverse function of this is w function, w of x. But why are we going to tackle at this? Are you seeing this? Are you seeing it here? It means that, remember that in the original function, okay, s map what? Y. But in the inverse function, y map what? X. That means the outcome will be x. Now, what am I saying? It means that the inverse of what? The original function is s multiplied by e to s, which is into s multiplied by e to x. Is equals to the w function of what? Into. You can see s, so now having s multiplied by e to x. Now, remember, by the definition of inverse function is a function that reverses the operation of another function. Now it reverses the operation. That means it will still take us to x, because y multiplied by y multiplied by e to y is equals to x multiplied by e to x. It means that in place of this we have just x, because x is equals to y multiplied by e to y. That means y is equals to x and s is equals to y, and it means that y multiplied by e to y is equals to s multiplied by e to x. So in place of this, the outcome is x. Please don't forget what I'm saying. It's very, very important. The inverse function is a function that reverses the operation of another function, and in the original function, s map what? Y. S map what? Y. But in the inverse function, y map what? X. So why we match what? X. So the outcome will be what? X equals to what? Equals to the w function of what? Into x multiplied by e to what? X. And this implies that the w function of x multiplied by e to x is just equals to what? X. This is amazing. It means that this thing you're seeing here is equals to this. It means that this, the w function of the inverse of into x multiplied by e to x, okay, you can see is equals to what? Is equals to x. You can see it's equals to x, and x is equals to the w function of x multiplied by e to x. So either I will use this or this, they are the same thing. So in place of this, I'm now that this is the integral of what? X dx. Wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Now remember the power here is 1. So let's integrate let's integrate s with respect to x. That means this will become what? Normal way, if you integrate, you add 1 to the power, it now become x 1 plus what? 1 divided by 1 plus what? 1. plus our integration constant c. And this means that this is s squared divided by what? 2 plus what? C. As simple as A, B, C, D. Remember that integration is a process of finding the antiderivatives of a function. And antiderivatives is like the opposite of what? Derivatives. That means antiderivative reverses the work that derivatives have done. Okay? And this is the answer. Now, this C you are seeing here represent that there are many constants that were being differentiated that cannot be integrated anymore. This C you are seeing here represent those constants that were being differentiated that cannot be integrated anymore. So thank you so much for watching. Please, if you find it very interesting, don't hesitate. You want to like, comment, and so share it to your loved ones so others will learn from it. Please, if you're not subscribed, consider to subscribe to this channel so that anytime we have an exciting video, you'll be notified. So thank you so much, and God bless you. Bye-bye.